Julian says beware of the mysteries hidden in the small town of Fair Lake, West Virginia. According to him, you may never know if you will disappear like the other people who lived in Fair Lake in 1817. He told the crews that legend has it that the local miners did not get along with the Hill people. It is said that on Halloween in 1817, the Hill people attacked the people of Fair Lake in the biggest massacre in the state's history. But what shocked the world was that no bodies were found. People believe that the Hill people carried all the bodies, built a huge bonfire and then ate the residents of Fair Lake. Boo! A group of friends, Billy, his girlfriend Cruz, Lydia, her boyfriend Gus and Julian are on their way to see the Mountain Man Music Festival, held in Fair Lake every Halloween. Little do they know that the Hilllookers Three Finger, Sawtooth and One Eye are hatching a murderous plan with serial killer Maynard Odette, who is somewhere in the mountains and teams up with unwitting news reporter Kayleen Weber before murdering her. No one suspects that something is amiss, not even the news team that accompanies Kayleen. Because of her pompous behavior, the team naturally assumes she is late. When she doesn't show up, they quickly find a replacement, happy not to have to deal with the diva. Meanwhile, the group of 5 friends are having fun while Billy drives them around town, until they find themselves in danger. Maynard Odette suddenly appears on the road and in an attempt to outwit him, Billy crashes the car into a pole. Fortunately, Town Sheriff Angela Carter and her deputy Kevin Biggs coincidentally arrive at the scene. They check the place and find drugs in Billy's car. The 5 friends and Maynard are arrested on the spot. Sheriff Carter tells Kevin to stay put and get the evidence. However, he is unaware that the serial killer also has some deadly accomplices like the Hilllookers, who are hiding behind the trees. As Angela leaves with the others, the Hilllookers start shooting arrows at Kevin. As soon as they catch him, they cut off his ears and eat them. Back at the police station, the friends are trapped in a jail cell and are extremely tense. Since Billy owns the drugs, he decides to admit his mistake for the sake of his friends. Angela, convinced by his confession, releases the other 4. Gus, Lydia, Julian and Cruz rush back to their hotel and try to find a way out of this mess. After they leave, Sheriff Carter digs up information about Maynard Odette's past. She learns that he is a brutal serial killer who has been on the run for over 30 years. As soon as she learns this information, she immediately calls the U.S. Marshal's office. They decide that the fugitive will be taken by the U.S. Marshals by 10 a.m. the next morning. Angela is overjoyed that she will be able to bring justice to the people he killed and capture a wanted criminal like him. But just as she is jumping for joy, Maynard Odette's cold and evil laughter fills the room. "You won't live that long," he says with a sickening smile. Back at the hotel, Billy's friends are talking to his father about helping him get out of jail. The man seems to be a very protective type, as he is willing to hire the best lawyer to defend his son. Now all they can do is wait. Cruz, in a fit of anxiety, decides to visit her boyfriend, who is still not out of his jail cell. As she is walking to the police station, she encounters one of the Hilllookers Three Finger. He attacks her, ripping open her stomach and making her drink his blood. Seeing Gus and Lydia making love, Julian feels nauseous and decides to leave as well. He also decides to visit Billy at the police station, but learns that Cruz is not there. He and Billy start to panic about where she is, and why she hasn't returned yet. To make the situation worse, the Hilllookers are planning their next move. They break down the entire town's telephone junction poles so that no one can call for outside help. Whether they know it or not, the town is under siege. While everyone is filled with anxiety, Gus and Lydia have a romantic moment together. Surprisingly, Gus even proposes to Lydia. As expected, Lydia is shocked and turns him down because she feels she needs more time to make the right decision. To cool her head a bit, she decides to take a shower. Just then, someone starts banging on the door. Gus opens the door, and One Eye is standing in front of him. He grabs Gus by the neck with a stick, and she and Sawtooth lead him away. As soon as he comes in, she hits him hard on the head and runs away, escaping the terrible fate. Gus is so unlucky that the hillbillies tie his hands to the back of a truck and his feet to a tree, then chop off his legs with an axe. They bring his body to the front of the police station, and prepare to run it over with their truck, as others watch. Angela, Mo, a familiar preacher, and Julian watch his corpse being crushed before their eyes. Julian immediately vomits, while Angela and Mo move Gus's body off the road and onto a porch. Once again, Maynard bursts into laughter and tells Angela that he warned him about them. The sheriff immediately springs into action, freeing Billy and giving him and Julian each a rifle to protect themselves. Although Billy is adamant about finding his girlfriend Cruz, Angela insists they all stay together. She knows the hillbillies want them alone and weak enough to kill them. When everyone reaches their stations, Mo suddenly remembers something. "Sheriff, oops, there was a shortwave radio in the back of Lee's thrift store. I saw it," he says. Angela makes a plan and tells Mo that she will cross the street to the thrift store and use the generator to call for help. When Mo offers to go with her, she declines and tells him to stay put and not let the hilllookers in. Like a maniacal dementor, Maynard teasingly warns that it's not a good idea for them to be separated. Angela assures the others that she will protect them and tells them to cover her while she crosses the street. She enters the thrift store and after a little searching finds the radio. Three Finger seems to have heard of the incident, though he goes inside the store as well. Angela fires her gun, not realizing that the noise will startle the others. When Billy hears the gunfire, he wants to go out and help, but Julian stops him. He promises him that if the sheriff doesn't return in 10 minutes, they will go out and look for him, Cruz, and Lydia, but they have to wait another 10 minutes. Meanwhile, Angela finally manages to contact someone via radio. This person is Teddy Table, who lives in Dixville Notch, New Hampshire. Angela tries to alert Teddy to the current situation in Fair Lake, but Teddy thinks it's just a prank and cuts her off. You can then hear Angela's hopes being dashed. Her attempt to console him is cut off by a sudden scream. It turns out it's Lydia, who is upset after finding Gus' body. Her friends quickly come out to comfort her and take her inside. Billy sits her down and asks if she saw Cruz on the way. Seeing Billy upset that his girlfriend is dead somewhere, Maynard starts joking around. She's dead, probably still digesting lover boy. My boys love bodies, especially cute little blonde girls, he jokes. Billy gets angry at this and immediately gets up and threatens to kill him. Now he is more determined than ever to find Cruz. When Angela tries to stop him, he begs her to either tie him back up or let him find his girlfriend. He can't let the love of his life wander off and live alone. Angela gives up and gives him his rifle back. Julian decides to go with Billy, and they both leave the party. But as usual, bad news comes when Three Finger finds them hiding in an alley. While her friends are out, the only person who can calm Lydia's nerves is Mo. She asks him why they are killing innocent people and what do they gain from taking their lives. To show her that she is not alone in this fight, Mo pats her on the head as if she were his own daughter. With the hilllookers after them, Billy and Julian run into an alley to hide from them and find Cruz's body. His body parts are scattered everywhere. Billy doesn't have time to mourn as he and Julian are caught in the hilllookers' trap. Billy takes a massive blow to the head. He wakes up to a horrible scream and finds his body sunk into the ground with only his head above ground. He realizes they are on a football court and is helpless when he sees Julian tied up in chains to the goal post next to him. Billy tries to get Julian out of the chains, but his attempt is futile. They try to call for help, but when they see Three Finger coming toward them driving a giant lawnmower tractor with sharp blades, they realize it's all in vain. Their faces turn pale, and they wriggle like insects to free themselves. While all this is happening, Three Finger laughs a menacing laugh and speeds off. Julian tries to pull Billy out, but when he fails, he cowardly leaves him behind. The blades pierce Billy's head like fruit in a blender. Julian is shocked to see this and is terrified that the same thing will happen to him, and it does. Although he tries to run away, the chain gets tangled in the blades, and as a result, his entire body is crushed by it. Three Finger watches all of this like a child being given candy. All attention is now back at the police station. Angela is explaining to Mo how he has to go find other cops who can help them. Seeing Angela distracted, Maynard finds an opportunity to call an already scared and nervous Lydia's bluff. He tells her that if she can convince the sheriff to let him go, he won't hurt a single thing. Me and my boys will disappear into the night, you'll be safe, he says. She tries to convince Angela to let the killer go, but has no success. She and Mo head to the junkyard to find their police car. Angela is helped by M.O., who drives her to safety, and all is well. All is well, until M.O., who is not paying close attention while driving, runs into a barbed wire fence. The Hilllookers capture him and set his body and the store on fire. Lydia and the sheriff are stunned with fear, their argument forgotten. The thrift store catches fire, and Angela quickly heads out to see what's going on, leaving Lydia alone with Maynard. Initially, Lydia doesn't want him to leave, but being the cunning he is, he plays with Lydia's mind. He convinces her that he and Hillooker won't harm her in any way and will let her live. Tempted by his offer, Lydia stupidly hands him the keys. Not even a minute passes before she walks out of the police station, her eyes cut out. Angela, who was knocked to the ground by the sudden explosion, tries to help her. She shoots Maynard and puts him back in his cell, then she quickly goes to Lydia and blindfolds her to somehow ease her pain. As if things aren't bad enough, when Angela steps outside the police station, she finds her husband Jason tied up in the driver's seat of a truck. As Angela gets closer to Jason, he tries to warn her that this is all a trap. The Hilllookers had set a trap that if anyone opens the truck door, Jason will be cut with a knife, and that is what happens when Angela opens the truck door. Jason's body starts bleeding and Angela can't focus on anything else. Seeing her distracted, Three Finger comes after her and looks for a chance to grab her. She tries to fight him off, but he pins her down and she falls unconscious. When she regains consciousness, she finds herself hanging by her hands in a jail cell. The killers have poured gasoline all over the police station. Maynard ties a wire to the sheriff's body in such a way that if she tries to put her foot down, the wire will pull the trigger of the gun placed underneath her. He tells her that she can either burn to death or shoot herself. He sets the police station on fire and gets into a truck with the Hilllookers. Unable to bear the pain, Angela commits suicide. With no other survivors, the killers set out to find Lydia. She walks blindly down the street, calling for help. She hears the lights of a car coming toward her and heaves a sigh of relief. Just when Lydia thinks she is safe, she screams in fear when she realizes that the truck is carrying none other than Maynard and his henchmen. They drive off into the darkness with Lydia.